Alright guys, so a big story that's come out today. Senior Iraqi Al-Qaeda leaders killed. So Nouri Maliki, the Iraqi Prime Minister, has said that 2 leaders of Al-Qaeda in Iraq have been killed in a joint Iraqi-US operation. The US said it was the most significant blow to Al-Qaeda in Iraq since the beginning of the insurgency. Now one of these people that was killed was the supposed leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq, and his name was Abu Ayyub al-Mazri. Now al-Mazri took over from another guy who was killed in a US airstrike in 2006 called Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. You might remember Zarqawi. His picture was in the media quite a lot. He was a beefy guy with a beard. Anyway, it's since transpired that Zarqawi was a total US psyop, and they built him up to be the leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq when he was nothing like that. He was a nobody, basically. But they made out that he was, leading loads of Al-Qaeda terrorists in Iraq because they needed the face of the enemy, basically. They also needed to try and tie in Al-Qaeda to the Iraqi regime. I mean, of course, one of the key reasons why we went to war in Iraq was because of these supposed links with Al-Qaeda and bin Laden. And there was a letter that was intercepted, which was supposedly from Abu Musab al-Zarqawi to bin Laden, asking for his blessing to take the fight to Iraq. It's since turned out that that letter was a fabrication, and yeah, it was just all fabricated, basically. There were no links between Al-Qaeda and the Iraqi regime, other than the ones that the US had invented. There's a really good section in David Ray Griffin's book about Osama bin Laden, Dead or Alive, which talks about this. Check that out. Anyway, he's dead, and apparently now Abu Ayyub al-Mazri is also dead. The thing is, this guy's already been reported dead twice. He's been reported captured once, and I found a story from a lawyer who says that he was actually in prison. Check this out. So the first report of this guy's death came back in October 2006. Looking at a news story from Sky News on October the 5th. Hassan al-Sanaid, a member of parliament close to Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki, said Mazri had been killed in a US assault on a safe house in Haditha in western Iraq. The US did deny that, but that was the first report of his death. And then, not too long later, 1st of May 2007, Al-Qaeda in Iraq leader killed. The Interior Ministry in Iraq says it has received intelligence that the head of Al-Qaeda in Iraq has been killed in an internal battle between militants. That's from the BBC. So 2 reports of his death, and then a year later he was reported captured. I'm looking at a Times story, London Times, from May the 8th, 2008. Al-Qaeda in Iraq leader Abu Ayyub al-Mazri captured, and it says he was captured in a joint US-Iraqi operation, according to Iraqi military sources quoted by the Arabic news channel Al Arabiya. So 2 reports of his death, 1 report of his capture, and then another interesting story from July 2006. 6th of July 2006. So this was soon after he supposedly became leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. A prominent Cairo lawyer says the Egyptian man identified by the US as the new Al-Qaeda leader in Iraq has been in jail in Egypt for 7 years. The lawyer, Mamdou Ismail, who has represented Egyptian Islamists for many years, says he met the man days ago in a jail on the edge of Cairo. He says the apparent contradictions in information may be part of a disinformation campaign by both sides. Basically, you just can't believe anything you read. I mean, who knows whether this guy's dead? Who knows when he died? Who knows if he's even real? The US played a psyop with the guy who was his predecessor. Probably the same again. Probably doesn't even exist. It's just a guy they can keep just trotting out when they need to say they killed him, a victory in Iraq, when who knows whether he's real. Check out the links in the info box anyway. Cheers.